Oh, 15, because flanking.
Yeah.
Yes, that does hit.
Well, and then that means sneak attack as well. Is
22. Jesus.
Is the spider
No value out of Hex this whole time.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
And that'll do it. As you split this one in twain a second time, right over the body of its dead brother that you did the same. Just becoming a mountain of spider corpses, gutted by a psychic knife.
Oh. I like getting close and personal with knives. God damn it.
Right,
Let's see.
else?
Nope, that's the end of my turn. I did everything I could.
Alright, next up. You all now hear the coming from above you to the left here. And I'll say anybody with a passive of higher than about 15 can see the bird sort of peeking over the top. Anybody with less cannot, but it's just going to continue to sit there watching. Next up are the giant spiders. Right, the one giant spider left is going to attack you, Grant, with a bite. Oof. 20 to hit.
Yep.
And a DC 11 Constitution save as it bites into your side, and as its mandibles go. Yeah, you are able to easily withstand the poison. Yes, 9 piercing damage.
Oof. This thing's hurt.
And that is its turn. Next up, Sev.
You got to serve. Sev, you're muted.
I know, I was thinking.
Okay.
The front here, is this like too webbed up for me to walk around?
You can't walk on the vehicle, but you can walk around.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna, get around it. And then throw another produced fireball at it's a 14 to hit.
Are you shooting the fireball at the webbed up vehicle or at the spider?
Oh, no, at the spider.
Okay. How much? 9?
14. 9 plus 9.
14 just hits.
Nice. 5 points of fire damage.
Right, you slam into the spider side. It hits. It kind of shivers, looks at you, and kind of turns in your direction since you hit it harder than anybody else.
That's pitiful, guys. And that's my turn.
All right. Next up, Terrence. All but one spider is down.
His internet died, so he was trying to reconnect.
Ah, okay.
For Terrence.
Yeah.
All right. I'll postpone his turn until he reconnects it. Grant.
Well, I'm going to try to hit it until it dies. With my Pulaski. 20 to hit
Yeah, that'll hit.
for only 10 points of slashing.
All right. You cut off the 2 front legs of this spider, and it is now bloodied.
Oh, get some! As I'm like screaming at it, trying to make it hopefully doesn't like run towards Sev, and that'll end my turn.
All right. Hector, you're up. 1 spider up, and it is the one that you have hexed.
I'm just like, it's about... Hector's like, oh my god. Finally, I'll get some mileage. Eldritch Blast.
Oh my god.
Roll your attack. Don't throw up that flag, man. It'll make you miss.
20?
Yep, 20 will definitely hit. 5 damage, 4 force, and 1 necrotic. It is definitely bloodied as the Eldritch Blast slams into it and it rocks back onto its back legs, and it comes back down on its remaining 6 legs.
Alright, I'll just kind of go over here. And then that'll be it.
Alright, Rachel, you are up. 1 spider left. And it is looking bloody.
Do I gotta go around these giant spider corpses, or can I crawl over them?
They're dead bodies. You can crawl over them. It's fine.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll get up there. And I'm going to say goodbye to Mr. Spider-O, hopefully. Let's see if I can actually hit it. 1. Well, 2. 2 hit it.
First one misses as it dodges out of the way, seeing what you did to its friends. But the second one strikes true. As how would you like to do this?
I would like to cut off its legs. Just its legs on one side. Just give it a nice cut off so it just kind of crumples over and dies.
All right, as you're passing by Grant, you slice off the 2 legs to the right, and it kind of veers to the right and slams into the ground. And then it tries to bite you as you pass by, but it ends up just going in a circle because it's only got legs on one side. It just spins and just starts spewing blood onto you and Grant. And it spins around and around and around until it finally stops and dies.
Nice.
Is that your full turn?
Yeah, that's my full turn.
All right. Deer Bird, Antler Bird, is going to come back, and all of you notice that the spiders, their blood, their webbing, all of them, suddenly start to disappear.
Oh god, they're all summoned creatures.
That's it.
I'm gonna test something real quick. Damn, it didn't work. How the fuck?
As you are now no longer webbed, you all see a giant cloud start to appear in the sky. Thunder and lightning start to rumble. It grows larger and larger and larger. And Rachel, you've done the most damage. Let's see here.
Oh no. What have I done to myself?
Give me a second, let me find it. Uh, 17 to hit. Rachel?
Oh, that does hit. That does hit.
All right. As you take 40 damage as a lightning bolt shoots down from the sky and hits you.
Oh.
How much? How much damage?
40.
40.
Yes.
Uh,
I rolled very well.
yeah, apparently. Well, I can do something cool.
Yeah.
Please save me.
You
'cause this-
cannot see this person, and you are not within 30 feet.
Was it not? Oh, so it wasn't the bird thing?
It was the bird thing, but this is 30 feet up and away.
Question.
I can't.
I'm on negative 11 health. Am I still alive or am I just dead?
You're
Oh
unconscious.
yeah, you're still alive. You have
I'm-
to do your total health. Sorry about that.
Alright.
So I wouldn't be within 30 feet at all.
We can math it out, but I think 30 feet up and then 20 feet away. Yeah, at least 30 feet up is already past your 30-foot range.
So as Rachel's just standing up from slicing down a spider, God strikes her down.
Correct. And also, you all cannot see this bird creature currently.
You had said I had saw it.
Yeah. You did see it before it stepped away. Now you do see another antlered figure up there, because I just realized it does actually need to see as it peeks over. This time you don't see a bird, but instead more of a deer head peering down at you. Sort of mangled. I'll say since it has to be this close. Yeah, no, it's still 30 feet up. And...
Oh my god, that's funny. I got folded like a bad hand.
Oh,
I just deleted its initiative. What was it at?
After
After Rachel. So I'll just say it was an 18. All right. Sev, you're up. As you see this, just the head of this hideous deer creature staring down at you.
Okay.
there
So
we go.
I am going to bonus action transform into a giant octopus.
All right. Is this a large creature?
It is a large creature.
Awesome. God damn it! I need to stop doing that. What was your initiative? 8.1.
7.1.
And then I'm going to 10, 20, and then action dash and start climbing up the wall. I have a 10-foot climb speed.
All right, you are 20 feet, or you are 10 feet.
Yep.
Yeah, 10 feet
So
up.
just a giant rock-covered octopus starts climbing up like suction cup after suction cup up the cavern wall. And that is everything. Bonus action, movement.
All right. Terrence, you are up. You also see this deer-shaped creature
He's
peering
still
over.
out.
Oh, yeah. I'm gonna say he firebolts. Can he do firebolt? What cantrips does he have?
I don't know.
Me neither. Where is it? Okay, we'll say he's freaked out because I can't find his sheet immediately. And he probably has a cantrip, so let's just skip him. Grant, you are up, sir. As you saw the bolt of lightning come down, hit Rachel, and she is prone on the ground, still smoking.
Oh,
Fuck. All right.
You probably could leave me be if you want to take.
I'm gonna try this. So moving here, and I'd be within a. I don't even have to. 60-foot range. I'm going to look at this weird deer dog looking mother freaking thing, and I just say, "Come!" as I point to the ground as I'm gonna cast commands.
All right, what is that?
It's a wisdom save.
Wisdom
DC
save.
13.
Roll a 20.
Jesus. All right. Well, that didn't work.
That thing just looked at you and went, no.
It did. It looked at you, and then it turned its head towards the odd octopus as it cocks its head.
All
Its
right.
movements seem unnatural.
I'm gonna get like right at the base, and then yeah, that's I can't really do much. I'm a melee character.
Yeah.
That's and that was my action to do. So I don't think I have any bonus actions that earn spells. Nope, unless I want to persuade it. But nope, that's all for me. I can't do anything.
All right, Hector, you saw your friend struck down by a bolt of lightning.
Oh, jeez. Okay, so I'm going to move my hex over to this creature because I'm still concentrating on it.
Alright.
And then choose strength.
It's the same one throughout the entire spell. So if you chose it
Is
before,
it? Oh, well,
yes.
then yeah. Okay. And then I'll Eldritch Blast.
Alright, roll your attacks there.
Oh, shoot, wrong button. Nope.
Unfortunately, the Eldritch Blast hits the mountain right in front of it as you cause a good chunk of pebbles to come loose and start rolling down. Anything else? Any movement?
Yeah, I'm going back up. Let's see, how far away can I get from this thing? I can keep going. Yeah, I'm gonna go over here. Is that a fucking Wendigo up there?
I don't know.
And that'll be EOT.
Alright.
I'm ready.
2
Yes.
DM. Yeah, death save 2 DM.
I get that query. All right. Yeah, it's set up.
Yeah, you should have a toggle on there.
Whisper roll. All right.
How do you have that +2?
Oh, it's a Constitution save, right? Isn't it, or is
Nope.
it just?
Just a D20.
Death save.
Oh, okay. Player whisper roll. Player. Yeah, without that. Okay. Okay. I understand. I understand now.
Yep.
Alright.
You should just be able to click death save on your sheet. The actual.
Oh yeah. But I just took the result I rolled. I took the number without its modifiers and used that instead.
No, it's fine. Roll again.
Oh, you sure?
Weird. Yeah.
All right.
It's like, unless you roll a natural 1, then it's like. Okay. Next up, this creature peering down, peering at all of you. Hector, you're the only one who's actually hit it. So it is going to point its finger towards you, as you also
But I
see
missed
a
it.
bolt of lightning. But you yeah, that's true. But you have shot at it. Yeah, you're the one who shot at it. As it points its finger towards you. Yeah, no, you know what? Give me a second to roll something. Yeah. You know what? It's going to hit you, Rye, because you are coming towards it threateningly and you're freaky looking.
What's up, Chris?
Freaky.
It is hitting you with a bolt of lightning.
Deck save, right?
No, it is an attack roll.
Oh, okay.
And I completely forgot that I was gonna flavor my vicious mockeries as him using dark speech. So.
Oh, now we know.
Yeah, now we know. Instead of him being, because he's Eldritch themed. So
27 to hit.
Jesus.
Rye?
Are you muted, Ray? Uh-oh.
Oh.
His kid may have come to the room or something.
Yeah. Alright, well, when he comes back, that is 24 damage. 24 lightning damage. Maybe giant octopuses are immune. Who knows? They're not. Holy shit, that's a CR1? This is bullshit. Okay.
what is this? A gibbering mouther?
No, giant octopuses.
Oh.
Right. And after it does that, it steps back to where all of you lose sight of it. And
Sorry, Prego wife, Sicky.
that's okay. You took 24 lightning damage as it pointed its finger at you.
24?
Yep.
Cool.
How does a CR1 have 52 hit points? That's obscene. I know. Okay. Then it came back outside of view of everybody. Alright. Next up, Sev and the Rocktopus.
Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna reach down with my 15 feet of reach, grab Grant with an action, move up 10 feet, and then reach up and place him on top of the cliff. And now I'm 20 feet up the cliff. End turn.
Sure, what the hell. Grant, you are now up the cliff. Terrence, you back yet? No. Terrence is still in the van.
Can he feed a potion to...
Tending to. Yes, I think he bought a potion.
Or even if he just uses one of hers since she's the one down.
Yeah.
That'll work. Alright, and he will feed you your own potion. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 as he retreats back to the van. So you can roll for the health potion for yourself if you'd like.
Alright.
Right, and Grant, you are up, and as you are lifted on top of this area, you don't see the deer-shaped creature. Instead, you see the deer bird once again.
Well, I am going to go right here. I'm going to put it all in one thing. I'm going to bonus action Thunderous Smite, and then I'm going to attempt to hit with my Pulaski. Oh, please don't fuck me. That's a natural 20. And I'm smiting.
All right.
Hell yeah.
Hey, guess what? Guess what you also get? Hex.
No, Hex only
That's
applies to
just
you.
you. Yeah.
Oh, no. Is it? I thought it
Yeah.
was to anybody on a turn.
Only to you.
That would be broken if it was everybody.
Okay, you. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, your crit should be a 12, not a 6.
Okay, never mind. I was thinking of something
Max is
else.
the second damage die.
What?
Your 13 plus 6 should be 13 plus 12.
Oh yeah,
crit.
so let's hang on. So let me do the math real quick. So 25 plus 7 is 32, 42, 45, 55, 65, 69 points of damage.
Did you max the 2 die for your smite?
No, oh geez. All right, hang on. Let me
How's there
redo this. Hang on.
46 and 2
Because
2d8s?
I did Thunderous Smites. So hang on, let me just redo the math. Hang on. So
Wait,
it
did you
is.
Thunder Smite and regular Smite?
I Thunder Smited before as a bonus action, and then yes, I hit with a smite.
Oh, no, that was more just like my misunderstanding. I didn't even know that you could do that.
Yes. So hang on. Let me get. Plus,
Yeah, Thunder Smite's a spell, and then Smite is just his, ability.
Oh yeah, no, I get that. I just didn't know that you could actually do both in like the same turn. That's just my not knowing paladins because I've only ever really played one, except for in
Gotcha.
one shots.
7.
That makes those spine spells a lot better than I thought they were.
I mean, you're still comparing a. Oh, that's right. Because the last one of the 12. It's actually was it? Let me make sure I'm doing. I feel like I'm missing something. So I feel like the damage isn't as high it's supposed to be. Plus 12. 7 plus 16 instead of 13. And then 7 plus 12. I'm getting 67. I must have added in extra numbers earlier. So 67 points of damage.
All right, Thunderous Smite is the 46.
That it was the first 2d6, and then the others got maxed. And it needs to make a strength saving throw. DC 13.
14.
Damn it!
Yeah. As you come down with your axe, a thunderous smite. At first, you think it's from the lightning cloud, but then you realize it is just. Then the bird realizes it is your axe. Comes down and actually splits this bird in two.
Holy
It's
shit!
blown backwards.
Hell
And
yeah.
as the bird peels away, it retakes its. Oh wait, shit.
I just fuck your encounter by doing 67 points of damage in one hit.
No, I wish, but I am very sad. Get rid of the slashing damage, and then
No.
just radiant, and
Oh.
it is immune to regular, to mundane.
That is
Damn.
so
You
sad.
still fucked up this dude, all right?
He
It's not-
did.
Yeah.
absolutely.
But you
But
fucked up like
that's
67
minus
damage.
25 damage. So
I know.
only 42 points of damage.
Only 42 points of damage. That is.
I
fucking-
pumped 2 spell slots into that one hit. All right, look,
Hey, it was worth it. It was awesome, and the fact that it worked out with a thunderous smite.
and that means I can't do anything else to this thing at all because that's the only form of magical shit I have.
Okay, that was the attack. You still split the bird form, but as it retakes its deer form, you notice that it seems unhurt, despite all the damage that you just basically
God
obliterated.
damn it!
It's
I literally
Bird
can't do
form
shit to this now. Literally, I'm useless to this thing now.
Oh god.
it now
I'll
has, you
keep
now have,
wearing.
you now have its attention though, exclusively its attention as
I
it turns
think-
towards you.
I think
you
you're in
also need to
danger.
re-put it into the turn order.
Initiative.
I'm in danger.
God damn it! I need to stop doing this. 18.
Chris, if you instead of just deleting and switching tokens, if you just switch it to the DM layer, it'll keep it in the turn order. It's just we won't be able to see it.
Yeah. Good point. All right, Grant, that is your turn.
That's 25. So just slowly start making my way back. That is all I could do.
I'm
All right.
in danger.
Yeah,
Hector,
yeah.
you cannot see this creature, but you did hear. Oh, I do need to make a con save though.
I can't see it anymore.
Yeah.
You just hear a thunderous slam.
Thunderous storm. The thunder sound and bright light was so loud that it actually pushed the storm
Oh,
clouds
wow.
away, and the storm.
Loudy.
That is audible within 300 feet of you.
Yeah, you pushed the storm.
Oh
clouds.
yeah, that one. Okay. Wow.
Okay.
All right. How
Okay,
high up is that wall?
30 feet.
Oh, it's only 30 feet?
Yep.
Hell yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna send Blink up about like 30 feet so I can see what the fuck is going on.
All right. How How high is Blink gonna be?
I think I'm gonna send him up 30 feet so he can see like just above the line.
Okay, and that is your action to summon him.
Is it to bring it out?
Yep, that's why familiars are they're either out all the time and in combat or not. Is because it takes an action to pull them out, and then if you want to look through their eyes, that's another action. It's an action to bring them in or out of their little.
Oh yeah, ew, gross. Yeah, no. All right, no, I'm not gonna. I forgot it was an action. Okay, no. Fuck. All right. Then I'll just shoot the octopus again.
Shoot the octopus.
Octopus is an ally.
Yep.
Is what? Oh, it's an ally now.
It always has been.
Jesus.
That's me, man. That's me.
Then why?
I moved Grant.
What?
You saw me shift to the octopus. I was in vision. I reached down, grabbed Grant, and then lifted him up onto the top of the cliff.
Okay, then I'm fucking stupid. Then yes, I will have my. Fuck. Okay, then I will bring my familiar out. And I will move over here. Well, no, I'll move over here and then end with my familiar up 30 feet.
All right.
I'm up here alone and I just see a tiny little fucking hummingbird just come up. It's like, you fucking piece of shit.
Oh no, he so he was an asshole and left the ring in the pocket dimension that he was in. So behold, like I think it was observer or spectator.
Gazer.
I can't remember.
Gazer,
yes. Yeah, no, in all of his gazer glory. Eye stalks dangling in the wind. What is their move speed? Move speed, fly 30? Okay, then yeah, he flies up 30 feet.
Can't you summon him at a point you can see? So you just summon him up in the air 30 feet and have him float over?
I could, but I don't really need him any further.
Fair enough.
All right. Is that your full turn?
Yeah, that's it.
All right. Rachel, you wake up as
Actually,
Terrence.
I still have negative health.
Yeah, you come back to whatever you got healed at.
Yeah, this.
In 5e, you only drop to 0.
Yep.
Oh,
So yeah.
fair.
The only time that going past 0 matters is when an attack does your full hit points worth of damage.
Ooh, that
Then
is
you
nice.
die instantly.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a lot more forgiving for deaths.
Yeah. All
So you are
right.
awake, but you are prone.
I'm gonna spend my move action getting up, and then I'm going to retreat back with my standard action into the van.
Damn, I was going to lift you up next.
Actually, I can stay there. It's just I only have like.
You wouldn't know. You wouldn't know.
No, I just don't have a lot of health.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Yeah, that's all I can do. That literally eats everything up. I do not have any additional potions, so that'll be my turn.
Okay. It is this creature's turn, and it is going to look at you, Grant. It's going to look at where the lightning was in the sky. It's going to look back at you, and it's going to say something in a language you don't understand, like a question, the inflection at the end. And it's going to stare at you for a moment.
What?
It squints its eyes at you, and then it brings its deer nose closer, and it... as it deeply inhales your scent.
Ew.
And then it's going to turn to the south it's going to wave its fingers in the air, muttering something in that same unknown language, and it is going to dart south at a very quick speed, and is going to bonus action disengage as it does.
What language was this?
What languages do you have?
I have. Fuck, where was it? Oh, yeah, that's right. I wrote it on my roll 20 because didn't you want to have that?
I'm pretty sure none of you have the language, but just in case.
Okay.
Like I didn't try to pick a language that none of you had. It just happens to not be the language.
No. I get that. I got to go back to his G sheet because D&D and Beyond doesn't allow for custom languages.
Yes, it does.
Does it?
Yep.
Yes, it does. I'll show you how to do it later.
Okay. I have Latin, Spanish, and Ancient Greek in common.
None of the above.
Okay.
Right, and it heads south by 60 feet. God damn it. What is wrong? My
Get
mouse is
along,
going
bones.
double
So
clicking
fast.
lately. It's so annoying.
He's going so fast that his image is like blurring.
Yeah, so 60 feet. Yeah. Okay. Can any of you do anything, like, basically to stop him if he continues to run away?
Nope.
Okay.
I cannot.
Rocktopus. Terrence still gone, unfortunately. Hector. I basically need to know whether or not I'm going to end combat.
I will tell you here in just a second. I could chase it down. Moorbounder has 70 feet of movement.
Okay. Then it is
What?
currently 60. Yeah.
None of my companions could catch up. So if it starts sprinting away, I've seen it do enough damage with lightning strikes. I'll probably just let it go.
Okay.
We could track
So-
it later if need be.
So, Grant, you are the only ones that see this creature start sprinting to the south on its odd deer legs, bipedal deer legs. And that is the end of combat. Grant, you are still up on top of the cliff. You all see the giant rock octopus next to you. And in the truck, Terrence, you're not there. Who is there? Rachel?
Yeah, Rachel.
The two of you are in the truck with the unconscious Gregory. What would you all like to do?
With a tentacle, I kind of stretch up over the cliff, point at Grant, and then point towards the ground, and then kind of like make a question mark with the tentacle.
I mean, I can't chase after that. That's what you're trying to imply.
Oh.
So I'm just gonna walk over it, 100% knowing what he wants from me, but
I wrap him up and lift him back down to the ground where the car's at.
this is weird. I don't like it, but you know.
God.
All right. So do you all get back into the car?
Yeah. Rachel is currently looking over herself, nursing wounds right now.
So I just realized, because I was just going to stay in this form and like kind of chill on top of the car as we continued forward, but roctopuses can only breathe underwater, so I can only stay in this form for 2 minutes before I die.
Just like slowly suffocating.
Yeah. So like 2 minutes go by and it kills over and I pop back into regular form.
You're just like gasping for air.
Yeah.
Like, why would you not come out of that sooner?
Yeah, it's like, there's where the hit points, the high level of hit points comes in.
Uh-huh.
There's the catch. Okay. So as
That and the fucking stupid movement speed.
as the
I mean, you're a fucking,
I know.
octopus.
as
It doesn't
you
have
are-
a swim speed. It doesn't have a fucking swim speed.
What?
Yeah. It's a roctopus, man.
That's
A
the first
land
thing that I looked
octopus.
at. It's like, you shouldn't have a swim speed speed. You get it's like
I
it doesn't. It's such
yes,
bullshit.
I get swim speeds at level 4.
Oh, right. Yeah,
Yep.
I thought it was 6. You were correct. Okay. So you start the car and you start heading back into town?
Yeah.
All right. Grant, you start the car, maneuver around. You notice that in this entire encounter, your car actually wasn't touched or injured in any way. Make me a check just to re-navigate through the canyons and rocky terrain that you're in out of here.
Dexterity with. Do.
Yeah, dexterity plus proficiency.
Bad. 14.
That DC was only like a 13. You have a few iffy spots, a few places where the car gets stuck for a moment and
I'm a little
has to
sore.
get out and push. Yes, the multiple people that are bleeding in the back of your vehicle.
And I'm
Yeah.
a little sore.
Your leg bleeding as you're trying to drive this car from the fangs of the spiders. But you're able to get out of this canyon and finally get back out into the open ground that was used for the solar and wind farm. As you start heading back, you see the Hogan in the distance. And about as you get up to the Hogan, those of you in the back of the car, you hear as you see Gregory open his eyes for a moment, look around, and then his eyes go wide. Dasan, where's Dasan? He was hurt. Where's
I don't think we have any Deson water. Does anyone have any?
Dasan? He's purple. He's blue and gray. He was hurt, attacked by a bear. Where's Dasan?
He's at the hospital, isn't he? He's the guy at the hospital.
Is he alive? He okay?
He's alive, but okay? No.
He was torn up. The creature was biting, clawing, scratched. It's hurt. Where am I? Where are we going?
Hospital. You need medical care, sir. There's lots of it.
To see the sun?
Potentially later, but for now you need fluids and medical care. You are dehydrated.
And then his head lulls, and he falls back asleep. This nerdy-looking, skinny orc just passes out again. Right. I'll say Grant, you're driving. Who's in the passenger seat?
I'll take shotgun.
Okay. Both of you make me a perception check.
Sure.
18. All right, 90.
That's a 19 plus 5, 24.
All right. Grant, you actually don't see it, but Sev, as you're sitting in shotgun,
It's a DC 19.
Chilling being the only person other than... this was a very difficult thing. I wasn't sure that anybody was actually going to make it.
I was like 18, but you got 19. You little freaking druid.
Oh, no,
prick.
didn't he have 20 something?
No. Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh, he had natural 19.
Yeah, natural 19.
I heard 19, and that was
Yeah.
where my mind cut off. I was like, you shit.
As you're kicking back, one of the only two people who wasn't actually injured in this fight, you're kind of staring out at this beautiful scenery, the orange-brown sand, the large plateaus and steps and buttes jutting up around. This scenery is the place that they film all of those spaghetti westerns, because it is the quintessential Southwest scenery. And as you're sitting there sort of enjoying it, you're looking up at the clouds and the clear blue sky, enjoying the fact that you're in air conditioning because it is hot as balls out there.
Yeah.
And you notice a small speck up above you. And as you look up and you squint, you see a drone up there. It's a bit further back, a bit more towards where you all just came from. But it seems to be up there, and then you watch it for a minute, and it seems to be following you. It's up there a few hundred feet.
Yeah, I'll
Just that
definitely
speck up there.
point it out to everybody.
Just a drone.
Yeah, just a
Yes.
drone.
Like a
Did you
civilian
follow?
drone, not like a freaking plane drone strike drone. Just
No, it's like Ennis where it ends.
The president has decided that we have done wrong and to slight us.
You said that it's a couple hundred feet up.
yeah,
Rachel will
300-400
give
feet
it
up.
a-
It's definitely keeping its distance and keeping a watchful eye.
And it's keeping pace with the car.
Yes, and make me. I'll say make me a general intelligence check.
Sure. 13.
Yeah, no, it's there.
Cool.
Okay. But who was it? Rachel, you do get a quick blip text. And as you look at it, it is Greyforge saying that he had legal go over the NDA. It looks fine, a little airtight and aggressive, but other than that, fine. And also a picture of his signature on it.
All right. I will go ahead and text Greyforge and update him all that happened. You know, that we fought giant spiders, that there was this weird transforming thing with horns. You know, that at one point looked like a Wendigo. Just give him a text of everything, updating him, and see if he knows what the thing that lightning bolted me out of existence is.
Okay. He'll send you a text back. Wow, sounds like Monday. It's like a little Garfield. All right. So are any of you doing anything about the drone? You were all informed about it.
No, I'll just keep an eye on it. Is there like any other vehicles around or anything that I could see that maybe it is being controlled from, coming from, you know?
Make me a perception check.
Sure.
Can I try to see if this is like is
22.
there anything special about it?
22. Sure. Make me an investigation check. For the 22 perception, you look around. You're passing the Hogan. You don't see anything in there. There's the wrecked vehicles, but it's
guidance.
unlikely that someone is hiding underneath there. This is also a pretty flat area. That's why they chose it for the solar and wind farm. There's some pretty decent gusts, but other than that, there's no real place for anybody to hide. You're off of the main road, and you're not going to get on the main road for a little while. There's actually like a little dirt path to get to this place, so no real place for anybody to hide. Investigation of 23. Nice. It's kind of hard to see, but you know that these drones can be controlled from quite a distance these days. Some of them even work on cell signals and things like that, so they don't necessarily have to be close. It's high up and it's really hard to see, but it's probably a model that is available to civilians. But if it is not being controlled closely, it's probably a pretty expensive model. Other than that, there's not much that you know. It probably has a camera on it because, you know, it's a drone.
Yeah.
So does it look like an expensive model or not?
The fact that it's probably not being controlled by anybody close by, yes, but again, it's very, very far away. It's a few hundred feet away. It's just that speck in the sky. Without really getting a closer look, it's hard to tell. But you can assume.
All right, sorry. Could you repeat that? Somebody walked into my room.
You can assume that it probably is, but without getting a closer look, it's really hard to tell.
All right. I'll blast it.
It is like 300 or 400 feet up.
Okay, then never mind.
All right.
I'm just gonna stick my middle finger up at it.
You stick your head out the back door and stick your middle finger up at it. It doesn't seem to change course or do anything different.
No, but now they know that we know. And that we don't like it. Or I don't, at least.
Rachel's just too tired to text and Greyforge together right now. I got.
Rachel there, still smoking from parts of her clothes, just burning smell coming off of her as she's texting Greyforge. As Hector shakes his fist at God.
Yeah. Curse you! So wait, she's still smoldering?
It's for flavor. Just little bits of her clothes are still burning. Like she got hit with a bolt of lightning.
Yeah. I'll use prestidigitation to clean your clothes up for you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Whatever that is. Next time we fight it, can we have something to protect us from lightning?
Yeah, good luck with that.
I also noticed my axe didn't really hurt it much. Like,
Great.
my other things did, but the axe itself, I felt like didn't really cut in.
Great.
Like, at all.
That's just dandy. It's the best way to put it.
I mean, it still took damage from, like, the radiant flames and the lightning I was hitting it with, but...
It probably we need some sort of magical weapon to hurt it then. Luckily, my daggers count as magical weapons, so psychic
They
daggers.
do.
Could I correctly assume that I would know that it was wild shaping by any chance?
You didn't actually see it, but I'll say make an intelligence check.
11.
Yeah, based off of, I'm guessing if Grant, you told
Yeah, I would relay everything.
Okay. Then yeah, I'll say make it with advantage if Grant told you.
15.
Yeah, you can assume the way that it was unhurt after its form got ripped apart, it was either a wild shape or a polymorph, based on how... he didn't actually see it transform either. You know that's either polymorph or wild shape.
Yeah, and considering, how the other one reacted when I told them that I could, shift, it kind of adds together.
What other one?
The Furbolg? Back in the shop?
Oh, you mean Caton?
Yes.
Oh, he's not a Furbolg, he is a Cougar Tabaxi.
Oh.
Dasan is the Furbolg that's in the hospital.
Right. But yeah, when he heard that I could shift, he was kind of like, say what?
Okay.
You do who the what now?
Yeah, so it's one or the other.
Yeah.
But yes, it's likely it's wild shape. Okay. Is there any other roleplay or anything you guys want to do before you take Gregory to the hospital?
Well, Hector's just gonna kind of like play on his tablet, just read a book or something, and
What Candy Crush?
oh, speaking of books, actually, he's gonna pull that book out
All right.
and just read it.
Okay, the story of Passions of Flame in Portland.
by Jessica Simmons.
It is a cheesy dime store romance novel that seems like a direct ripoff of Sleepless in Seattle. Only instead of a what was Sleepless in Seattle? The computer emails. Only instead of emails, they decide to go unique and a little old-timey and make it actual written letters to make it a little bit more romantic.
Ooh,
There
fancy.
is probably a 20 pages devoted just to like heavy romantic smut and innuendo towards the middle of the book. But you can make the majority of the way through it on the way to the hospital. It's not the most well-written book, but you spend the hour reading it. is the best you can say about it.
Yeah.
All right. Anybody else? Rachel, what are you doing?
Rachel is just looking at her phone, reading whatever she can, and contemplating life after a lightning bolt hit her.
Okay. As Rachel sort of stares off into the distance as you're driving. Sev, what are you doing during this trip back?
Just enjoying the scenery, you know. Not often we get to go out and about like this, and just keeping an eye out for anything else that might be following us, other than the drone.
All right, make me one more perception check as you're just watching and enjoying the scenery.
Sure.
You've been around this general area before, as your parents used to take you out to enjoy the natural world.
Yep.
Probably not this area in particular, but similar places.
A 15 for the perception check.
As you keep an eye out, you don't notice anything too much. You do notice a few animals, in particularly off in the distance, off to the right of the car. There does seem to be a coyote kind of just sitting there randomly in this wide open space, which it occurs that it's odd to you. They tend not to just sit open in wide open spaces, but it watches you as you pass by. And it doesn't seem scared or put off by the car.
How close to the road?
Quite a distance away. You're still out in the flatlands.
Gotcha. Yeah, I didn't know if it was just like right next to the road when we passed by and not getting scared.
Oh no, it's out of ways.
Cool. Okay. I mean, I'll make note of it, but nothing too out of the ordinary. Maybe it's just used to people, you know.
All right. Grant, how about you?
I mean, I'm just driving, just paying attention. I will, probably, depending on how long everything is, just may swap off to make sure the person in the back, he's still, he woke up, but I just want to make sure he's not, dying on us.
Okay. You head back, and he seems to be, every now and then, and he seems to be pretty stable now, that most of his injuries are taken care of. It's mostly just the dehydration and exhaustion that's doing him in now. You get a look at him, and he was scrawny beforehand, which really didn't help over these few days out here. No excess body fat to really feed off of. But other than that, he seems okay. He doesn't regain consciousness anymore. And as you drive, you kind of occasionally have to take your foot off the gas and kind of like shake your leg just to get the circulation going from the two wounds from the fangs.
Yeah, I'm just like, man, this is really obnoxious. As I just like put my hands of healing into and just heal it up.
I was gonna say you guys can take a short rest during this whole drive.
Then I will do that instead.
Yeah, most
So-
definitely.
So all of you do get a short rest. And I will actually say that is where we will call for break. 5 minutes back at 9:20.
All right.
I was not aware that I get wild chips back on a short rest. Oh my god.
Yes, you do.
Mr. Oh, I know, Druid.
Hey, I do.
Yeah.
But that nuance escaped.
You
Hey,
had a
but guess
Druid in your
what?
game for
Yeah,
2
that's what I was wondering why it's
years.
like, why are you using more
Who
wild
doesn't
shapes?
shift?
Imagine
He
not
gets his
getting
other
all of your
features, though,
spell
back.
slots.
He doesn't
Imagine
use
not
his
getting all of your spell
spores
slots back.
either.
He hasn't used it in a long time.
Couldn't be me.
Second warlocks.
Imagine.
Yeah, paladins don't get shit back on a short rest.
Same for my rogue.
You just rolled 60-something for damage. I think you're good.
Hey, that used like most of my resources, alright, on that one hit, and I didn't even do all the damage.
Yeah, just wait until he turns into Hexasorkadin. Jesus. Such a dumb bill.
Bow down to me, bitches. You thought
Yeah.
77 was a lot for level 4. See what I'll do at high levels.
But yeah, no, like I totally plan on going at least like 3 levels into Divination Wizard for that sweet portent. Because it's like, oh, you succeed on my skill check? No, on my save DC? No, you didn't.
If you rolled well that day.
Yeah, well, I mean, well, yeah, like,
As someone who played a divination, like sometimes when you get those middle line rolls, you're like, ooh, that's not always the best.
yeah. Yeah,
It's still good when you're like, oh, someone has advantage. You're like, nah, you're just gonna have this.
Yeah, he's like, nah, you're just gonna miss.
Yeah, it's a 9 on the die, but you have a pretty decent to hit. We'll just do that. All right, I'm gonna grab a snack.
All right, I'm gonna go refill my drink.
So, Alex, how's life? I know you're here. Did you pause the stream? Okay then.
Man, it's kind of fun designing a CR45 monster. It's level 20s thinking they're gonna be the shit.
I have returned for now. But yeah, Google is making me mad again with the whole fucking rhythm bot shit. They hit Fred Boat, now they're hitting Rhythm.
Groovy was before this.
Oh yeah, Groovy.
They're getting all of them.
Yeah. It's because I'm pretty sure it's because people are using them to like not have to watch ads.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And they're like losing out on money.
And they're already working with Discord trying to make it so you can watch YouTube videos in Discord.
Yeah, but they're still gonna have ads.
Yeah.
Well,
That's what they
what
want.
if you're, a good Samaritan and pay for YouTube?
Which is what I do.
Yeah,
It's
It's worth
one of
it.
those things where it's like,
For me, because I use it every day.
Same.
yeah, like all they really needed to do was have have one of these bots partner with YouTube, and
Why would they when they could just make their own and just charge for it?
That's why they're going straight
that's what I mean.
to Discord.
Well, that's what I mean. Is like they could like do like a fucking like partnership shit where they could detect if you have YouTube Plus or not, and if you do, your bot won't have ads, but if you don't, then your bot will, or some shit.
Oh,
like that.
Why go through all that work when then they can just use shit like Rhythm? Literally just get rid of all the competition. That way you're the only one. That's it's
well,
yeah.
I mean, I guess, but that's one of those things where it's like that becomes a monopoly, and that's kind of.
You think Google isn't a monopoly? If Google pulled
is
out
not
and locked us
monopoly.
out of our shit, how
So-
many people would be fucked?
I mean, technically, Google's not a monopoly. They just own a lot of shit. Because there's Bing and Dogpile and a whole bunch
Compare
of...
Bing and Dogpile
Oh, I didn't say they
to
were
Google.
good. I didn't say they were good, but it's not a monopoly.
They keep up.
like Lipton. Yeah, Lipton. You can say is a monopoly because there's a freaking lemonade stand down the store. Like you can't always compare the shit.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, I find Lipton to be gross. So,
But you get my point of
I get your
comparing. Big
the
time.
quality is not the same, but there are other options.
I will say
It's
I would.
not like what Sony's doing with all the fucking anime streaming. They're
Oh,
taking
yeah.
down. They bought Funimation and Crunchyroll, and which are the two biggest Western streaming sites for anime. And now they're going after all of the pirating sites, and that's literally
Yeah,
like.
so
all
they're
of their
the only. They're getting rid of the competition, so you have to use them. It's business.
Which is funny because it's caused Japan to want to dub their own anime now.
Yeah, which sucks.
Yeah, that's gonna be bad for the voiceover
Oh, yeah.
community in America.
And like they super like Funimation already has really shitty dubs.
And really
Um,
bad business practices since they
Oh,
all of a
yeah.
sudden pulled their stuff from Crunchyroll and everything else. That was irritating.
Mhm. And then the like the fucking studios over in Japan aren't making the kind of money they're supposed to be making because of like Crunchyroll and Funimation. No, Funimation specifically isn't paying them properly. So, but at least Funimation, at least Crunchyroll had like merch and shit. So,
All right, is everybody back?
I think
Yep.
so.
Except for Bite. Come on, man.
I think he has Comcast, and Comcast, when it goes out in his area, can be down for a while.
Okay. And also, something I forgot to mention in the fight, Grant, when you were up close to this creature, when it was in its deer form, you noticed that same like rotten meat smell when you were up close, but only when it was in its deer form.
And I'll relay that then.
All right. So as you continue heading back to the hospital, it gets later in the day. Bright day turns to beautiful dusk, and you notice the oranges and yellows and purples of the sky in this part of the country. You kind of have to take a moment to appreciate it as you get back on the main road and head back to Tuba City. It's fully nighttime by the time you get Caton to the Tuba City Regional Medical Center. Several nurses come down and they collect Gregory from your vehicle, put him onto a stretcher, and wheel him in. Are you heading inside?
Mine's honestly, yeah, we probably should, so we can talk to the Furbolg here and see if he recognizes the description of the creature we saw. Might as well see what they know.
I will watch the car.
Who's watching the car?
Hector.
Hector, got it. All right, Rachel?
Rachel will head on in as well.
All right,
She wants
Seth?
to pick up snacks from the kiosk.
Okay. Seth?
I'm gonna head inside.
All right. As the three of you head inside, Rachel, you stop off at the small little store full of overpriced goods and snacks. What are you buying?
She'll get a bag of chips and a soda.
All right. You can just get those out of a vending machine.
All right,
Yeah.
that's what she'll go.
Yeah, just
She
take
needs,
that. Yeah?
she needs something to eat after getting lightning bolt.
Okay. As you eat your chips and your drink, it invigorates you more than it usually does. Maybe the lightning burned out your electrolytes. You don't know. Maybe it's just the second near-death experience in 2 days. But the food and drink tastes so much better than it normally does, and it fills you up more than just your stomach. It fills your soul.
This poor girl's gonna be crying in the hallway as she eats it and goes, "This is the best food I've had in my life."
It's like, hey, you keep on doing a lot of damage, and you're like the first one to act and do it. So it's like, you're the only one that we've seen do damage. We're gonna kill you. As a DM, I feel bad, but it's.
That makes sense. I understand it. Always
Yeah.
target.
All right. As Grant, you and Sev follow them up, you head up to Desan's room. The blue-gray Furbolg is still there. The black veins on his face are a little bit shorter than they were before, but you can actually see them very slowly creeping back up. And you again see a passed-out old elderly cougar tabaxi in the corner of the room in his green bandana with red flowers, taking a nap.
I just kind of like knock on the door, like, "Hi, I hope I'm not intruding."
The Cougar Tabaxi wakes up. Caton. No, sorry, just taking a quick snooze. So,
Little catnap.
did you? He stares at you, and then he kind of throws his head back. Ow. Then he kind of grabs his leg. Sorry, tensed up my muscles. Is it weird that in my entire life I've actually never had someone tell me that joke?
That's actually kind of impressive. I'm not gonna lie.
I know, right? I was just thinking about it. It's like, wow, it seems so obvious. Anyway, did you find Gregory or find out what did this to Gregory and Dasan?
Yes, we were able to. He is currently in another room. It's dehydration. I was able to heal him up a bit, but he still needs definitely some rest.
Oh, great. Hang on, I'll call his wife Wendy. And he gets out his phone and he flips it on. He dials in a number. He puts it up to his head. Wendy, yeah, the people from the bureau. They found Gregory. He should be here in the hospital. Oh, okay, yeah. It's past visiting hours, but I'll let him know. I'll see you then. Take care. And he turns off the phone. He hangs up the phone. Okay, Wendy should be on her way here. This is such good news. Thank you. She has been just word sick about him. She hasn't been sleeping. Thankfully, she didn't get as rough a treatment as us, as he points to his leg. She only broke a couple of fingers, but she's been awake, crying the entire time. This is going to be really good for her. You're sure he's going to be okay? No. And then he points to Dasan, and then he kind of does like a veiny sort of gesture on the side of his face.
Not that I was able to see, at least.
Okay, that's good. One I can handle, two that's about my limit. Alright, what do you say we... did you find out whatever did this to him?
I think. It was a little bit of an interesting thing we saw. So, do you recall the smell of, like, rotting meat at all while this was all going on?
I was kind of focused on the ritual. Tell you what, let's go to Denny's. I could use food. You two, you one, as he looks at your leg, which is, your pant leg is ripped. I'm guessing you used your hit dice.
Yeah.
Okay, then yeah, he looks at your pant leg. I could use some food. You could probably also use some. Let's hit up a Denny's.
This is what this town, Denny's. That's like their one restaurant they have.
It's weirdly their highest rated restaurant in Tuba City is the Denny's.
Are you serious?
I'm not joking.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Nice.
So it's like, fuck it, they're going to Denny's.
That's actually really funny.
So he starts rolling out of the room, and as he starts rolling out, he kind of pulls back, and you notice that they're actually pulling the dehydrated Gregory into the room across from Dasan. And you notice that the elderly woman who was there the day before is gone. But he is situated on the opposite side of him. And then Caton kind of takes a moment and he wheels himself into the room and he looks at Greg and he kind of parks himself in the door as he looks at Gregory and he looks at all of you or he looks at the both of you and he says, "Really, thank you. I was really concerned about him. He was only there because I recommended him and Mary. I recommended their project and I gave them the go-ahead to be there for the ritual. So it was kind of weighing on me personally. So just thank you for getting it back safe."
Of course.
And then he pulls back and he starts heading downstairs with all of you. And as you're about to leave, you meet up with Rachel just devouring the last remnants of a bag of chips and soda.
The guy's like raise an eyebrow.
She'll look at you and go, "Shut up! I'm very hungry, and this is the best food ever."
Well, we're going to Denny's, so I hope you didn't ruin your appetite too much.
After getting shot with lightning, I could eat more. And she'll follow along.
All right. So, as the three of you now head out and you meet back up with Hector at the van, a car pulls in to the parking lot, going very, very quickly. It finds a parking space. It's cattywampus, and a small gnome with blonde hair and twin braids jumps out of the car and just starts running towards the entrance. And she looks over and she sees Caton. Caton! Oh my God! Gregory, where is? And it's fine. He's up there. He's across the room from Dasan. You know where he? Yes, absolutely. And you look at her and you see dark circles under her eyes. You see that her eyes and her nose are very, very puffy. She's still got some tissues in her hand, and she's like kind of wiping her nose. Yes, absolutely. Thank you. And she looks up at all of you. Are these? Yes. Thank you so much. I've got to go. Thank you again. If you ever need anything, just let me know. Thank you. And she disappears inside of the glass double doors as she heads inside. And as all of you get into, he tells you that was Wendy, and you all get into the truck and head to the Denny's diner.
Yeah.
Oddly, the
If you get any, you just hear loud thumping music as you walk closer to the truck, because Hector would have turned the radio on and blasting the music.
All right, as you all hear the loud thumping music as you get closer, you all get in and start heading to the Denny's. You make your way there.
So on the way there, though, I'm going to do Inspiring Leader on everybody again, just to refresh it.
Okay.
Was that 7?
Yeah.
You give an inspiring speech over the loud thumping music. Seemingly,
I would have turned it down. I read a passage from the book.
I turned the music back up.
As you read it, Caton is kind of like pretending not to listen, like kind of turning pink, and it's hard to see pink cheeks on a tabaxi covered in fur, but it's like he is that embarrassed by this.
Yeah, like you guys don't have to like specifically like hear what he's saying, you just have to hear him saying something.
Okay, as you can't hear him over the music, but you feel weirdly inspired about him trying to talk over the loud banging music. As you all gain the 7 temp HP. As you pull into the Denny's, the bright yellow and green sign, you head in and you see the same pink tiefling server that you saw the night before. The clientele is a little bit different. This time, instead of a mother with her children, you see 6 teenagers dressed all in black with pale makeup and black eyeliner, silver jewelry and piercing, each looking morose and each nursing a single cup of dark coffee. No food or empty plates anywhere on their table. And as you go back and find a booth, you do pass the 2 people in suits from the day before. The yellow tiefling with 1 white horn and 1 yellow horn, saying, "No, we could call the store only Tubas or 2 Tubas." Then the brown-skinned half-elf sitting across from her is kind of rubbing his temples, and he asks the server, "Sorry, do you serve alcohol here?" The tiefling server looks at him and says, "Sugar, this is a Denny's, so no."
She's like, so yes.
So he kind of continues rubbing his temples, and he looks back to her, and as she continues, or 2 Tubas, or Tubas squared, like the word Tubas with like the little 2 there. And then you kind of hear him muttering under his breath as you all pass by, "How did I get stuck with Pamela?" As you find your booth.
God.
I'm just like, I just look at the guy, I'm like, this is a very, not the guy, I look at the party, I'm just like, this is a very fine establishment. It's like I hope this isn't the finest establishment in all of Tuba. If it is, it better have alcohol for that guy.
It's a Denny's. They don't serve alcohol at Denny's. That's like corporate rules.
Well, they should.
He should. It's the finest establishment in all of Tuba.
It's the highest rated, not the finest. Okay, so you all hit this. You all sit in the same corner booth that Derek ushered you all into. That made you switch booths before. So as you all sit down and order your meals, I'm sure you've already got the menus up and you're going to order weirdness.
Oh, I should do that.
God damn it.
I'm just
You
getting
don't
a
actually
water.
have to order things. You order a water. As Keaton sits or pulls up with his wheelchair, and he says, "Alright, so you said something about rotten meat. Start from the beginning, leave nothing out."
So I will describe the flying creature as well as the rotten creature the best of my abilities while eating my lumberjack slam, and just kind of ask like, so you don't remember any rotten meat smell? We smelled it over by the vehicle, but it seemed to come from this strange creature that wasn't really natural. It seemed to change shape. It's smelled rotting. It shot lightning down from a storm above, and my axe didn't even seem to phase it.
Okay. Anything else you all know? Rye, you gonna share thoughts about Druid or any other theories or important things that anybody else wanted to share?
So I don't know too much about your axe not affecting it. But when you described it shifting back unharmed, it sounds pretty similarly to what happens to me when I get knocked out of my beast forms. Might be a connection there.
He looks at each of you and he nods as he listens to the story. And you see him kind of close his eye and you kind of see him muttering under his breath. Sev, you have the observant feed, right?
I do.
All right. Then this is a language that he's often speaking a language that you don't understand. But the few things that he says in common, he's like, no, probably not that. Could just be a wizard. No fuckers. Kind of basically, you see him going through his own thoughts.
Definitely crack a smile at that.
How many of us are actually wizards here?
One.
Who's not here to defend himself?
A wizard.
The wizard is gone.
Okay, so then he opens his eyes. All right, there are a few things just off the top of my head that it could be that are native to this region. First thought would be that it would be some sort of a thunderbird. They are birds and are typically associated with thunderstorms. They aren't harmful, though. They're more protectors, harbingers of bad things to come, help guide souls through the underworld, things like that. But I don't know of any real stories that have them attacking people, nor any of them shape-shifting. Next possibility is just an evil wizard or a druid, as he gestures to Sev. Could be some sort of a messed up wild shape or a polymorph experiment, but getting knocked out of it and turned back into a odd creature. That seems more like a wizard thing. They're always doing weird shit. So, you can never rule them out, unfortunately. Another thing I would say is could be a Wendigo, but they aren't really spellcasters or shapeshifters. The only way that it could be is if the Wendigo was originally a wizard or a druid, but honestly, if you're a wizard or a druid, you don't resort to cannibalism, which is sort of a prerequisite for Wendigos. You'd have to be like the shittiest druid or wizard in the world to not have some sort of a get the heck out of dodge spell. Last one, which, and honestly, well, second to last would be Coyote, sort of a trickster god. We're just gonna say that it's not him, because if it is, we're fucked. And last but not least, he kind of looks around. You shouldn't say the creature's name out loud, or give it any sort of a proper noun. It's become popular enough in Western society that you should understand what I'm talking about.
Do I know what he's talking about?
I'll say most of you that have seen movies or been around, I'll say each of you can make an intelligence check. Or a history check, what the heck.
I will go for
That changes nothing.
5. I also know nothing.
That changes nothing for me. All right.
Here we go! Fuck.
Oh my god! Okay, who's else? Who's left? Oh god.
It goes over all of our heads.
Yes.
The wizard's just
The
so
wizard.
disheveled by the fact that he
Intelligence.
Oh, my bad. You said history, didn't you?
No, just intelligence.
Wait, just intelligence.
Yeah, we just got weird rolls for history and intelligence save.
Okay.
it's the same regardless.
Yeah.
Can I add? I can't remember if I can add guidance to that.
Oh, it's a check, sure.
Okay.
I could bolster with my psychic power.
There we
Oh.
go. You can if you'd like.
Probably save it for some other time, considering
Okay.
that's such a bad.
Okay. You guys, I forgot to remind you, but you do have the inspiration each session.
You know what? I'll spend my inspiration here to try out this.
Okay. Anybody else?
Nope.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think we're gonna have another fight. It didn't help. It didn't help.
One more. Okay.
I'm a nerd. It's okay. That's my job.
Actually,
know
Hector,
things.
not only do you know what this is, you're the only one who knows what this is. He says, it should be pretty popular in Western culture, so you've probably heard of it before. Don't say the creature's name out loud or give it a proper noun, but it kind of translates to, and then he kind of pulls at his skin, and then he kind of puts his two fingers on the table like something walking across the table.
Oh. Okay, so do I know what would happen if I actually said its name out loud?
Make me another intelligence check. That's or make me a history check with disadvantage because it's kind of unique to these people, to the Navajo. There's a lot of rumors and stuff, but you aren't sure what's what.
Guidance it. I gotta roll it twice so that I can get that disadvantage, but
Yeah, I'll say a 17 can pass.
okay.
Yeah, you did guidance with. Okay. Yeah, it's because it gives them sort of a general idea as to your location, and sometimes if you mention this creature's name, not mention this creature's name, mention this creature, it not only tells them where you are, but it sometimes draws their attention. If someone all of a sudden says it, especially if they're nearby, then they may target that person because they like to fuck with people, basically. And then he kind of looks up at everybody and it's like, you all know what I'm talking about, and then sees blank expressions from everybody except for Hector.
Hector's just like, oh, you mean the...
Yeah, he's like, don't say it, but yeah, exactly. One of those, shape-shifting kind of things.
He's like, oh, yeah. Yeah, they're bad. Bad news.
And Kate and is kind of like two people who are the only ones who know the answers to a question. Yeah, right. We know.
Alright, just
we
give
know,
it a confused look like, what the hell?
Hector's just
Sorry.
like, it's okay. I'll explain it to them later.
I'll explain. I'll give you guys the basic rundown, because some of the stuff that's been put out is, I don't want to say misinformation, but it's just not correct.
Okay.
From the original stories, well, these things are evil, in a word. Just that's all you can use to describe them. They're
Hector's gonna record this with his tablet.
okay. Yeah, they're. Are you doing this obviously or not?
Well, Hector's gonna be like, hey, do you mind if I record this?
He'll say, actually, I kind of do. When it comes to things that are, these stories are sort of passed down from one generation to the next. They aren't written down for a reason. We don't really like outsiders knowing too much. To be honest, I'm only really telling all of you because it's a life or death situation.
I see. Hector will put his tablet away and under the table, kind of try to sneaky turn the record on.
Make me a sleight of hand check. I'll say with advantage since you are kind of hiding your hands.
I'll guidance it.
You'll have to do a second one for the guidance if you're all of a sudden randomly guidancing yourself while hiding something.
Oh, well,
under the
yeah,
table.
true. Yeah, good point.
That would make that a 12 with disadvantage.
Wouldn't it be advantage because I have it under the table?
You said
yeah, you're
advantage
at
since you're hiding
advantage.
it, yeah.
Yes, you're correct. So what is that? A 12 and a 15. Yeah, I'll say a 15 just passes. Like he looks kind of confused and a little suspicious that you're like casting magic while you're hiding something under the table, but he's like, you guys brought back Gregory. I'll trust you people. I'll foolishly trust you people.
Oh, I turned off guidance because you said no guidance.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, so then what is that, an 11? No, 11 plus 4, 15. Yeah, it's still a 15.
Yeah. For the second one, I just didn't use the guidance.
Yeah, so 15 still passes.
Yeah.
Oh, well, actually, hold on, shit. I should actually roll. This is not a DC-based thing. No, you know what? I already said it. I'll leave it. I'm not going to go back and do that. Crap, hang on, let me fix the music. Hey, there we go. Okay, so he's going to look at all of you and say, so the creature, which most of you haven't heard of, I thought it was really popular with the movies these days and the kids. Okay, basically you don't want to say its name or give it a proper noun because it sort of lets them know where you are from then on. So try to avoid giving it any sort of a proper noun, no matter what it is. They are evil as sin. They're basically like Sith Lords, you know, like from Star Wars. They need to be taught. That's why there hasn't been one in about 200 years. Honestly, if your descriptions hadn't matched it so perfectly, I would have thought, hey, there's no way that it's this creature. They're mistaken, but it matches up pretty solidly. In order to become one, they need to be taught, and it also requires the killing of a loved one to become one. They're evil, and they enjoy torturing people, especially those that have wronged them in some way, either in their previous lives or sometimes in this life. Let's see here.
That is going to bring up the question. Do you know of anyone that has been wronged by you guys lately?
Not off the top of my head. Well, no shit, fuck. That was a while back, but about 12 years ago, give or take, there was a mining company called Peterson Mining. They actually operated on the land that we turned into the solar and wind farm. They were a copper mining company. turns out that they were spilling Tenorm, technologically enhanced, and he kind of looks up as he says it, technologically enhanced, naturally occurring radioactive materials. It's some sort of a byproduct of copper mining. Turns out that they were spilling all of that into our water supply. So I kind of went out of my way and without telling, anyone in charge, and I hired some people to investigate, to get evidence on them. Lloyd and Llewellyn. You've probably heard of them if you're in the community, as he gestures to Sev. And make a history check, Sev. I'll say with advantage, since Druid. Are you there?
Oh.
Come on, Rye, you gotta tell us when you leave, man. Okay, so, he proceeds to say that,
13.
okay. With advantage for the history check?
Yep.
Alright. You don't recognize the names right off the bat, but you do know of a couple of druids that sort of work in the shadows. Any sort of corporation that's trying to pull something over that's destroying nature, like illegal logging, illegal dumping, things like that. They basically are hired to go in and sort of prove that this is happening. They go and they talk to animals or trees. They shapeshift in, and they are actually very good with computers. They go in, they get the information, they get evidence for it, and then they get out and they give it to whoever hired them. As long as that is going towards helping nature or helping the animals, whatever is in that particular area. So you don't recognize the name Lloyd and Llewellyn, but it does kind of spark that memory in there, because they do often use alliterative names or names that rhyme in some way. One male, one female name. He says, Caton says, they went by the name Lloyd and Llewellyn this time. I was actually really happy that I did it. According to them, while Llewellyn distracted them, Lloyd actually turned into a small snake, went up the U-bend of Peterson's office commode, turned back into himself, and got the information off of Peterson's own computer when he went to lunch. It actually triggered a pretty massive witch hunt in the company, because they thought that all the information came from the inside, came from an inside man or some sort of an inside source. It did. Just turns out it was Peterson himself. Unknowingly, but still. So we were able to get that information, and we were able to break Peterson's contract with us. But I was young, my wife had died recently, and I kind of threw myself into my work. And when Peterson went down, and his company was forced to leave, all of the Dineh that worked for him also lost their jobs. People lost their homes, businesses dried up. It was pretty bad for the entire area. If I could do it all over again, I would be a little bit more smart about it, but I made enemies of a lot of people. Thing is, A, they didn't know that it was me, and B, this was like 12 years ago. I don't see why this would all of a sudden start happening. But those are the only people that I can think of that would have anything against me. And Dasan had something to do with it, but it was mostly me. I don't know whether or not they would even know about Dasan. He's like twice removed from the whole ordeal. He was, 16 at the time? 14? And he kind of thinks about it for a second as the DM checks his note. 14 at the time. He had just become my apprentice.
Well, we could dig up records but I don't know if would be. I don't know how important it is to go dig up records and find out who's doing this.
Well, it might actually help to dig up some sort of records if we had some place to start. Your friend here found out that they could only be hurt with magic or silvered weapons, so as he kind of gestures to Grant, whatever you were using to attack him, you might want to get that silvered if you can't get it actively turned into magic.
How would I kind of go about that? That's sort of a very specific thing.
Off the top of my head, I don't know. We actually, weirdly enough, do have a silversmith that lives outside of town. He's yeah, no shit. It's
The DM is like looking at the show. It's like, oh, it makes sense. It's right there.
Great. Now I have to fucking look it up and see if it actually is.
Oh, I thought the way you were like emphasizing it, I thought like you had. That's fine.
Navajo Arts and Crafts.
Arts and crafts. There's just like a bunch of like 8-year-olds, and I'm just in there like forging a silvered
With your
axe.
giant fucking axe. Yeah, in-house silver. Holy fucking shit. Okay, Navajo Arts and Crafts.
You just take it down the road in Navajo Arts and Crafts. And it's like an eyebrow like raises like arts and crafts. Really?
You see kids making friendship bracelets, and then it pans to ting, ting.
Like I'm just like shirtless, just ripped, just like headband around the head, just bing, bing.
God, that's hilarious.
Oh my god, it's actually in Tuba City. This is insane. Okay, he's gonna say, yes, I do know one. It's Navajo Arts and Crafts Enterprise in Tuba
I
City.
just like raise my eyebrow.
Hey, we have a lot of very unique things here in Tuba City. No Tubas, like actual stores, but pretty much every other kind of store.
You just hear from like the other like way across the restaurant. It's like, see, they need it.
Okay. Yeah, so you might want to talk to them in the morning. They open at 10 in the morning. Which I just know off the top of my head. Okay. So you might want to get that silvered. Also know that the animal forms that they take, they can become unnatural forms. That's where a lot of the decay or rot smell comes from. If druids get their power from growth and nature and the cycle of life, theirs comes from death and rot and decay and parasites. Yes, so their animal forms tend to mimic that, as the scent that they leave behind. They also hold a grudge, so don't anger them. And so, two of the biggest things you need to know about them: they are shapeshifters. They can turn into people you know, people you love. They are deceptive by nature. They fuel themselves on it, and they like toying with their prey. They will hurt you psychologically before they typically turn to hurting you physically. So, just be on the watch out. Make sure that you look at the people next to you. Make sure that you maybe create some sort of code word or phrase to make sure that you aren't accidentally replaced. They don't get the memories of the person that they transform into, but they can mimic the body language perfectly. And they often watch their prey in animal form for a while, gathering whatever other information they need.
Alright, well, I appreciate that.
Right. But good news, they do have a weakness. And that's what I was going to say before with the research. They lose a lot of their power when you use their true names. If you mention their true names to them, their full true names, then it forces them back into their normal form. Makes them a lot easier to beat. They also lose a good chunk of the magic that they can do.
Is there any way to find that out?
He kind of shrugs his shoulders. Research, talking. Bless you.
Thank you.
If we knew more about them, then we could do that. Good place to start would be finding out exactly why they were there, why they attacked us. It could have something to do with Peterson, but honestly, I don't think Peterson has the ability to hire magical assassins. Given their area, it could be that their territory is south of Lecce. There's been something nasty south of Lecce, sort of a bad feeling. Me and Dasan learned about it maybe 10 years, maybe 2 years after Peterson. It's hard to describe. Only me and him could feel it. It was like you were in someone else's territory. Like whenever you stood there, you were always being watched. I figured it was something bad, so I tried to get permission to kind of lock the area down so we could purify it. But the town council that lived there didn't want to shut down the area for that time. The hills and mountains and whatever is up there is apparently a really big mountain climbing area, so they didn't want to give us permission to do it, and because we would have to shut it down for the better part of 2 weeks. So, in order to do it faster, there would need to be at least 3 of us. So I figured no one was actively getting hurt. So I figured I could wait and train Dasan up, and when he finally trained his apprentice up to a certain degree of power, the 3 of us could go out there and knock it out in maybe 2 or 3 days. But no one ever, as far as we know, died, but they also never recovered any dead bodies from up there. People go missing up in the mountains all the time. Like, rock climbers are just really confusing people. Why do you want to climb rocks recreationally? It makes no sense. But people go missing maybe 1 or 2 a year. But the thing is, we usually find bodies when they do. But for the last 10 years or so, none of the bodies have ever been recovered. So we figured if all they're doing is eating corpses, it could wait. Dasan wasn't exactly happy about it, but he bowed to my wisdom. So the 2 could be related, maybe not. But was there anything else any of you saw? Any other thoughts or theories? This is kind of your job.
It did speak in a weird language I didn't really understand.
Was it Druidic?
I didn't understand it.
Right, you were close enough that you heard it. Druidic.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's why I DM'd you a list of what I spoke.
Oh yeah, no, you don't.
Then yeah, I would say I understand Druidic, and it wasn't that.
Okay. Can you do you remember what it said exactly? It asked you, Grant.
I didn't understand it, so I don't know what it asked me. It seems quizzical, and it seemed to sniff me for my sense. That's about all I really know.
When you said it sniffs you, you notice that he kind of takes a step back in his chair. He kind of goes back half an inch. Yeah, that's not good. Like I said, don't piss them off. They hold a grudge like very few people, and they enjoy torturing people slowly. So
that's probably not a good thing that I heard it a lot then.
You heard it. Yeah, and then it sniffed. That's really bad. Well, there's good news. They are fiercely territorial, and they have most of their power in their territory. So they rarely leave it unless someone really pisses them off by hurting them badly or insulting them badly. And he's just kind of like looking down at the table and looking up at you, and then kind of hoping that you're putting it together.
We just all stare.
Well, I mean, good news is that we made sure to build the solar and wind farm off of the territory that they probably reside in, south of Lecce.
What about a Denny's?
I mean, you could never get this far, like, without an issue. Just make sure that you again, just develop some sort of a code word or phrase with the people around you. If they do anything weird or can't seem to recall certain events, just...
I look towards the rest of my group and think, we're fucked.
Oh my god. What, don't have faith in us?
No.
Oh.
Kind of short.
Alright, so if you can find out these Wendigo's true name, then you can take away a lot of their power and fight them. So that should probably be your first thing. Sorry, second thing. Navajo Arts and Crafts Store. Sounds weird. Great silverwork, also some amazing turquoise jewelry. You should really check it out. Get that axe silvered.
Ridiculous.
Probably try to sleep as far away from Lecce as possible. Like really head south for a few days. Only come in to do what you need to do.
How much are
You
these
just look-
polos?
He's just
they got.
looking at you like, oh, this poor man.
I like see him. I just go, stop.
He's already decided you're dead, Grant.
What happens when you fucking natural 20 a skinwalker? They're like, yeah, you.
Natural
So-
20 with a thunderous smite and an extra smite on top of it. That was amazing. Brutal as all fuck, but amazing. I never thought that I would see it.
Dude, level 4, 67 damage.
Yeah.
So, I didn't mention it because I didn't think it was super important. But on the way here, there was coyote on the side of the road that kind of stood out. Didn't seem afraid of us in a car going by. I don't know if maybe it was one of these things watching us, trying to, as you mentioned before, scout out. But, you know. I mean, and the drone, but, you know, less than.
Sorry, a drone, as in... And he's looking at you like with a raised eyebrow.
Like he doesn't know what like a drone is. Like he genuinely might not.
He's like 70.
Yeah, a small flying thing has a camera on it. It followed us in the car. I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know much about them myself. Sorry.
Oh, those things with the little propellers on them that you see kids playing with?
Yeah.
Oh. I don't...
Yes, but this one was more industrial. More. It was a big boy toy.
Okay, I don't think these creatures would use them. But anything can happen. The coyote is a little bit more likely.
Right.
They typically take common animals in the area. Maybe birds, pigeons are a favorite because they're annoying and everywhere.
You said pigeons as I'm thinking from New York City.
But yes, I would also pay attention to any sort of animals that seem to be watching you closely, or are a little unnatural. The fact that you could spot something like that is good. Keep an eye out for that, especially if they seem to be watching one of you more than the other. Grant, good news is that they don't typically attack outright. Again, they like to sort of slowly torture people. But you have a
yes,
few friends
great
and family
news.
in the area. So, do you?
No, I do not. I'm from the north.
Oh, that's good. Then the only people that it'll probably attack are like me or your work associates here.
Great.
Probably replace one of them. Really get inside your head. Things like that. It's probably not going to come straight for you. That's the best thing I can see.
Mm-hmm.
And he's again just looking at you with like pity.
Stop. Don't give me those eyes.
Kind of like this poor son of a bitch. He's so young.
He's dead already. I'm watching a dead man walking.
And as he's looking at you like this, all of you start to see you see a police car speed past the Denny's outside, heading in the direction of the hospital. Then you see a second, third, fourth, fifth, all with lights and sirens going on.
I feel like that doesn't happen very often in a small place.
No.
That's like
doesn't.
probably all of the police.
Considering we just came from that way, I think we should probably go check it out.
Yeah, and as you're saying this, he's already like pulling himself out and heading towards the door. Wait, shit, money. Kind of goes into his pocket and kind of starts fiddling for cash. And he'll pay for all of your meals.
Cool.
Doesn't leave a huge tip, probably like 15%.
I thought that a little more.
This is just the easiest way to trigger Waffle out of the game.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Any sort of service.
He leaves no tip. Waffle you just hear Waffle slamming on his desk in the background and disconnects from DC.
I'm done. Oh my god.
Alright, as you hear and see the multiple cars heading to the hospital, you exit the door and... sorry, is everybody coming with? Hector?
Yeah.
As you exit the Denny's and you look towards the hospital where all the police cars are going, in the nighttime it's easy to identify the hospital. It's one of the very few multi-story buildings, and it is lit up on the side with all the room lights on. You look up to the second floor and you see a particular window, about three windows in. It has red splashes all over the inside, and you see that the curtain is thrashing about violently. Then all of a sudden it stops, and there's a massive crash outward as a large brown bear with these large eagle wings instead of claws crashes through the window with something in its maw. And as it starts flying towards you, off the top of the building, you see another creature fly off and start flying up and flying next to the bear. It is bird creature with the antlers that you saw before flying next to this large bear with eagle wings. As they fly over your head, probably 200 or 300 feet up, the winged bear looks down at all of you. It opens its mouth and it drops something in front of you. As you see this object falling down, it hits the ground with this meaty, wet splat.
Ugh.
And the head of a blue-gray furbolg with black veins on it starts slowly rolling towards you.
Oh, come on!
As Caton looks at the head, he pauses for a second and just shock on his face says, Dasan? Dasan! No! And then he just starts like rolling towards it. It's in the middle of traffic, and there are cars that are kind of like swerving around it and him. As he goes forward, as he kind of like looks down at the head and he like goes to pick it up, then it's like he's not sure, and he pauses, and then he kind of looks around and looks up at the bear flying off with the bird, and looks back to all of you wide-eyed, tears rolling down his face.
I will walk over to him and give him a pat on the back and go, we need to move the head. We need to move the head. And then I will go forth and pick it up with my invisible mage hand and go, do we have something to cover it with?
That's up to you guys. As you lift it up with your mage hand, he kind of looks at it and then he kind of like goes to like grab the head, like almost he's trying to like support it from the bottom without actually touching it, because to him it just appears like it's floating there, and he's kind of shocked and holding and then like looking at you, and then he kind of remembers what you were doing with the menu before, and he's still just kind of trying to like invisibly support it from the bottom, just slack-jawed and wide-eyed.
I'm
Actually not sure what he's supposed to do with his friend's severed head just floating there in the air above the street.
what story was that?
Second story.
Second story. I'm gonna look and see that. I want to run inside. I want to run towards the room.
Okay, the place is like down the street. It'll take you like 5 minutes to run there.
Oh, I thought we were outside the hospital. My misunderstanding.
Oh no, the Denny's is down the street.
Oh, we saw when we looked at that. Sorry, I thought we had started driving there and then. Okay, I see.
Oh no, we're still in the street with the severed head.
Gotcha.
All right. Is anybody else doing anything, or are you going to drive over?
I'm just gonna. We need to go over there now to the hospital.
I'll just go with them.
All right. You all get into the van. As you still have his head there, sort of floating in the van during the entire.
I'll bring it over and wrap it up in my coat I got, or jacket, whatever I'm wearing over myself.
Okay, you wrap it up, and again, Keaton just can't seem to like turn his head away from this, and he constantly looks like he wants to like hold it but not want to touch it. As you all pile into the van and start heading over to the hospital, the police have set up a very basic perimeter, but you're able to get in with ease with your credentials. Where are you heading? Up to the second floor?
To the room, yeah.
Okay. As you head up to the second floor, you have to cross another police barricade. And as you look down the hall behind the police barricade, you notice that the wall to your left, that was Desan's room, there is a part of the wall that is actually bulging outwards slightly. It's like it was hit from very great force from the inside. There's also sprays of blood out on the tile floor and on the wall opposite of the door. Sitting outside of Gregory's room is Mary. Wendy. Gregory's wife. She seems to have a chair under her, and she is stiff from head to toe, just staring blankly ahead. The only part of her that's moving is her hands that are shaking slightly. And as you walk up to her, she looks up at all of you and looks up at Keaton, like almost not seeing you, and then just goes back to staring straight ahead. There are several police officers around there taking people's statements from the various nurses and techs that were on duty, and from what little you hear as you pass by, they say things along the line of, I don't know, he just went crazy, just started attacking him out of nowhere. And then the next person, it's like his face, it wasn't normal. It was like a muzzle, like a snarling thing.
It was one of those thingamajigs that we ran into earlier.
I would try to go to a police officer and ask for details of what happened.
The police officer looks at you and looks you up and down. Can I help you? How did you get past the barricade?
And I'll show the badge and I'll be like, I'm also a retired firefighter. What happened here?
No fires.
Firefighters are also called on other situations, but all right.
Basically, based on what everybody is saying, the person in that room, one Gregory Hutchinson McGowan, got up from his bed, went across the hall to one Desan Etsity, and started, quote, ripping out his throat with his teeth, tearing into his flesh with his claws, just generally flinging his body all about, as he kind of gestures you into the room. And as you look into this room, it is torn to pieces. There is blood and viscera and body parts over every single wall, the floor, the ceiling. As you look up to your right, you actually see one of Desan's feet dangling from one of the tiles that came loose from the ceiling. The part of the wall that was bulging out was some sort of organs that were thrown so hard against the wall that it actually caused it to bow outward. You see the remnants of his torso. His ribcage was physically taken and ripped in two at the sides. If you didn't know that this was Desan or a person, you wouldn't have even been able to recognize that the remnants of this body was a Firbolg or human, or not like a cow. They were just torn limb from limb. Started doing all that to him, and you see that even this seasoned police officer kind of turns away and kind of covers his mouth with little swallows hard. They also claim that he didn't look like himself. His mouth changed into something more animalistic, as did his hands. Then after he ripped this fellow apart, he burst through the window in the shape of a winged bear, which I know sounds insane, but A, you're here, and B, I got to see it as it was flying off, so that at least I believe. Carrying Desan's head. And then he kind of shudders. So I'm guessing this is one of yours?
One of ours?
Yeah.
Our type of cases, yes.
Yes. Magical weirdness and stuff.
Yeah. We were already doing investigation into similar, sort of, and very related instances. This just not what we expected.
Yeah, this is pretty gruesome. We haven't been able to get a statement out of the wife, Wendy. She's been kind of clammed up. She might have some idea why her husband did this, but she hasn't spoken yet. She's just been kind of sitting there, shaking. We're seeing if they have any sort of relatives nearby that we can find to come get her. Do you need us to do anything else to help with? And then he kind of gestures around the general area. This, or...
I'll look towards the others.
I mean, I'm sure we'd appreciate some help cleaning up.
Our job.
Yeah, the hospital will take care of that. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
I don't know.
I'll use my tablet to take pictures of the scene for reference.
Okay. You go through and you take pictures of the room, and again, it is just foul. The amount of viscera that's around, you wouldn't even recognize that most of this is, organs of a Firbolg. If you want, you can also go check over Gregory's room. There doesn't seem to be anything out of place there at all. It's like he literally just got up and walked over. But yes, you're able to take a number of pictures. The blood splatter in the hallway.
Yeah, and then he'll just include him in the mission report later.
Okay. Sev, what are you doing?
Just quietly putting two to two together about, he said that, these things can take the shapes of, people, and kind of bide the time to do stupid shit like this. I'm not going to mention any of that until we're away from the police and whatnot, but he's just racking his brain at the moment.
Okay. As all of you notice Sev just sort of standing against a wall, thinking intently. Rachel, what are you doing?
I'm gonna go talk to the lady and try and calm her down.
Wendy? All right.
Yeah.
You walk over to the small blonde gnome with the double braids. Her face still puffy from crying, but there's no tears anymore. She's just staring blankly ahead. Again, just stiff from head to toe. The only thing that's shaking is her hands, and just very slightly is the only part of her that's moving.
I'm gonna get down to her level and go, "Hey, I know it's hard right now, but I need you to calm and focus. If you can give us any details, it can help us hunt down who did this."
She looks at you. Make a general persuasion check. I was gonna say charisma, but go ahead and make it persuasion.
I will psychic boost that as well by another D6. Well done.
If you weren't about to talk to her, I was. And
Yeah.
Well, you can do this too, because Grant, you're the only one that I haven't asked yet. Yeah, if someone ever says that they're going to do something and you also want to join in on that, say it so that way they can get advantage or.
I was going to attempt to go there as well. I would have activated my since I couldn't activate it during the fight at all. I can activate my one shot on divinity, give me a +5 to persuasion.
Okay.
And
yeah, roll a persuasion check too.
Yeah, I'll go over and introduce myself and the same. Natural 20, so a 33.
Oh my god!
Those are like hard numbers. As you both show up, get down to her
That wasn't
level,
even max.
which being a gnome is very low. And the two of you introduce yourself, and you see that she can't really see either of you, but then you see her pupils slowly kind of dilate and then contract, and she blinks once or twice, and then she finally sees you, and she hears your question, Rachel, about finding out who did this, and she kind of reaches forward and grabs you. I'm telling you, it wasn't Gregory. That wasn't him. He would never hurt Dasan or anyone. He's my sweet bear. He would never hurt anyone. He's a nice man.
I believe you. We're with the Bureau. I need every detail. Every detail is important to figure out who did this to Gregory.
Which bureau? The FBI?
The Bureau of Paranormal.
Oh.
We deal with stuff like this on a regular basis.
Do you think that Gregory was possessed?
There's a good chance he was, and that's why we need every detail. Was there any strange smells? Did he say anything? Everything.
Oh, so that means that he wasn't responsible. He's not going to go to jail for this, right?
No.
Okay. I'm sorry, what were you asking?
Any details, like anything Gregory said. Was there any strange smells? Anything and everything is important. Even if you don't think it's important, tell me, because it could make the difference between finding this person that has caused this or not.
There weren't any smells. I was just working around the room. I was basically just fiddling around, trying to make sure that he had enough blankets, enough pillows. He asked where Dasan was, and I told him that I told him where he was. I told him that he was just across the room. I asked if he needed him, and I told him that he hadn't woken up, he hadn't said anything or done anything, and that he was very sick. But when he woke up, I would let him talk to him. And he got up halfway through me talking, and he just walked across the room. I looked at him, and I was surprised that he was up and so mobile, given how tired and exhausted and sick he looked. But he just walked over to Dasan, and he looked down at Dasan, and he looked like he hated him. You think that you've seen people look at each other with anger or hatred before, but this was surreal. And that's when his face just shifted and turned into I don't know what to call it. Not a dog. It was smaller than a dog, closer than a dog is his mouth, and then he just went at Dasan's throat and he ripped it out, and he just kept biting and clawing, and I wanted to scream for help, but I couldn't. I just froze, and I just called his name quietly, Gregory. But he didn't stop. He kept going, and then his hands turned into these long claws, and he just ripped into him more and more and more. And he just...
As she starts like hyperventilating, it was like, it's all right, and I'll just like put some laying hands into her, not for like healing, more for like the warmth of it, if that makes sense.
You do this, and her hyperventilating just... And then she kind of relaxes as your hands kind of get that warmth through her body, and you see her kind of shiver slightly. He kept going until there was nothing left, and then he just looked around the room, turned into that bear with those wings, and he just shot out of that window, and that was the last I saw. The police came in. I don't know how much longer it was, but they got me a chair, and I sat, and then you came here, and that's all I really know.
Thank you. That was very helpful.
Yes. Don't worry. We will find who did this, and we will, bring Gregory back as well.
Okay.
Just go, drink some water, get some rest. We're going to do everything in our power, all right?
And then she's like constantly just muttering okay under her breath and kind of like bobbing her head in acknowledgement, but she's gone back to like kind of staring at the floor. And you can see her just kind of like replaying the whole thing in her mind.
I'm going to walk over to her, actually.
Alright. You walk over to her.
Mary. Her name's Mary, right?
Wendy, sorry.
Oh, right. You did
one
correct
time.
that. You did
Yeah.
correct that.
It's okay.
Wendy.
Make a persuasion check. Just gotta pull her out of it again.
Persuasion.
She got out of herself when he rolled a nat 20 and
I know.
17, but this is like another one.
13.
I'll say DC 15. Okay.
Yeah, 13.
Yeah. You mention her name and she doesn't look up or acknowledge you in any way.
Okay.
She's looking like straight through your shoes as you walk up, and she doesn't even seem to react to that, to you walking up to her.
All right. I'm gonna go over to one of the officers. Say, when she seems more coherent, ask her if her husband recently said anything that didn't sound like himself, or if while talking to him it seemed like he didn't remember something that he should have, or said something in a way that might have been different that he normally would have. And if anything seems off, please give me a call or text me, and I'll give him my number.
The police officer writes all this down and says, "All right, I will do."
Thank you.
Okay. Hector, are you doing anything else after you take the pictures, or anybody else doing anything else?
Can I look around for a piece of hair, like bear hair?
Sure. Make me perception, since you're looking for it.
Mm. 16.
Yeah, I'll say that you can see like a small tuft of hair that got caught on like some of the window as the creature flew out.
Okay.
It's pretty long hair for a bear. Leading you to believe it's probably like a grizzly or a cave bear. Definitely not something native to this place, to this particular area.
Yeah, I'll wrap that up and like put it in pouch for later.
As you wrap it in the pouch and you start to step out of the room, you see Caton in his wheelchair. He wheeled himself past the police barrier and he's waiting outside the room, kind of with his hands on the side of his wheelchair, kind of like he's getting ready to go in, but he can't quite push himself to do it. And then he sees you exit. How bad is it in there?
Pretty bad.
Kind of silently nods his head. And then he turns around. What did y'all find out?
We think Gregory was possessed, and whoever possessed him really hated.
Or it could have easily just been one of the things and made to look like we don't. That's more likely in this specific situation due to their shape-changing nature. And the face that he had, the animalistic face that he had created, described as like a small dog. I'm guessing coyote-esque, if I had to guess, but it's not a good scene. He seemed to wake up and just kind of find him and just was intent to kill from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then he kind of shakes his head silently. Well, then he takes a deep breath, and then... Alright, sitting here crying isn't gonna help out. So, what do we know now? This thing probably took the form of Gregory. Did it seem fixated on Dasan in some way? Or fixated on me? Did he say or do anything when you met him?
So Wendy did say that he seemed like he hated Dasan.
Like, more than she's ever seen anyone hate something or someone before. And immediately on waking up asked where he was.
Mm-hmm.
So...
And then he kind of looks confused. It wouldn't be after... I mean, they would go after him if they were after me, but... It really looked like it hated him. Maybe it actually was after Dasan. Maybe Dasan was the target, but I don't... Dasan's never hurt anybody. He was a good kid. He always has been. He's been my apprentice for, 12 years. He's about to become a full-fledged Atali himself. No. Let's go. As he kind of wheels outside, as he starts wheeling his way down the hall away from the scene. We could start poking around his house. Maybe we can find something there. As he just keeps wheeling himself, not even paying attention to whether or not you guys are following him, and still talking.
I'll follow after him.
Yeah.
And I'll offer, hey, I can. You don't have to wheel yourself around. Just tell me where you want to go.
No. I want to. I need to move right now.
So I have a quick question.
Yep.
The flying bear, was it traveling in the direction of the canyon we were at when we saw the Wendigo type creature?
Yes, it was.
Noted.
It was heading towards that north-ish area towards Lecce.
Cool. I mean, we could go to his house and look, or we know where we saw one of these things. You said they were territorial. We can just go back and...
Right. I mean, I'm low on resources, and I also can't really damage it until we go to the arts and crafts store.
Yeah.
I need my weapon to have something on it before it can even do something.
Yes, when we go to the JC Penney to get our weapons modified.
It's I'm a bit drained in terms of resources at the moment. I need some rest. If we want to head up there tomorrow after refueling, and that also allows some of us to get back what they need.
What time of day is it right now?
It is nighttime. I would say it's close to about 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah, let's gather our thoughts, rest. I have an idea, some things that I might be able to focus on that might help tomorrow. I mean, my tracking skills are one of the reasons I got hired, so let's put them to use.
I'll be impressed if you can track a flying creature. I'll give you that. All right, let's rest up then, and then we'll hit all this tomorrow.
All right. As all of you head out of the hospital, you get in the van. Keaton decides to start rolling his way home, and he tells you not to worry about it, and he'll call an Uber or something as he kind of rolls down the road.
Insight. Do I think he knows how to call an Uber?
Pull an insight check.
It's just 13. It's not that +5. I still have emissary piece up.
That's fine. He probably doesn't know how to call an Uber, but he doesn't necessarily seem to be lying that he'll find his way home.
And I think about it, it's like, is there even any Uber drivers over here? Just like one that's like the town's taxi driver.
God.
So are you stopping him, or what are you trying to do?
Are you sure you don't want to ride? I'm more than willing to drive you. And honestly, if anything, it would be better if we were with you longer in case this thing decided to come out.
Make a persuasion check for that one.
All right.
Give you guidance.
Would I have... That thing lasts for 10 minutes, but I still have my +5.
I'll say roll a d20. 11 and higher, and it's still up.
Can I assist him as well?
No, it's just a chance.
Cool, it's
Yeah,
still up.
No, I'm talking about the persuasion.
Yeah, sure.
All right, do you want to
Guidance
roll, or
and
do you want to give me
persuasion, my
advantage?
guy. Oh, I'm giving you advantage and guidance.
All right.
Right, how are you helping him persuade him?
You're like, look, man, it's a lot. I'm basically trying to help convince the dude, getting me like, hey, look, man, it'll be a lot safer and it'll help our peace of mind having us take you home.
All right, roll with advantage.
Plus... Wow. It's 28.
He kind of looks like he's about to start rolling away, and he slowly turns. Then he wheels himself up into the back of the van. And as you all drive him home under the night sky, he can't stop fidgeting. He keeps on playing with his hand, kind of playing with his clothes, anything that he can to just sort of keep moving. Other than that, he remains quietly. Here in the back.
I'll ask him just general questions about Druidcraft, like questions that are so stupid, like, what is Druidcraft? How do you do it? Tell me a little bit about the plants, just to give him something to be distracted by, something to talk about and be...
I'll offer him the book.
Oh my god!
Be like, here, man, I got some good reads for you.
His head is kind of hanging the entire time, and he only answers like your first question or two about druid stuff, and then he kind of turns to you and he says, I'm not one of those things, all right? You don't have to do that. And then when you give the book back, he kind of barely notices and kind of grabs it and just sort of puts it on his lap and leaves it there, and then goes back to fidgeting. He spends the majority of the time in silence, just sort of fidgeting. As you drop him off at his home, he gets out and slowly wheels back up, and you see him disappear inside. And as all of you head back, go and find yourself a nice hotel. You pass the hospital once again. The police still outside. Now there are coroners wheeling out bags of what you assume is Desan's remains. As you make your way towards the hotel at the night of Tuba City and reflect back on the events of the day, that is where we'll end the session.
Real quick, like before we finish closing out, while everybody's asleep, Hector's just gonna review the recording, like listen to the recording on his headphones or whatever, and like make a transcript for it.
Okay.
So
I'm also going to be that guy and use 2 first level spell slots to make 20 good berries before going to bed.
Okay.
I mean, it's a reasonable thing to do before you go to bed.
At least I'm not using all 6.
Hey, I'm fine if you make a bunch of good berries. I don't care.
All right, I make 60 good berries.
You walk into a fight with just like 2 garbage bags.
Hell yeah.
Just like popcorn throwing them out.
Walmart bags full of good berries.
All right, I am now starting a thing where I'm going to track. I have it marked down what my highest damage in 1 hit and my highest persuasion roll will be.
Oh man, fucking paladins.
That was fucking ridiculous. I just saw the natural 20. I went, oh yeah.
Yeah, the fact that you had
Right
double
after
smite,
Thunderous
that was-
Smite, yeah.
Yeah, after
know.
the Thunderous.
That was pure luck with this
What I was going to
Thunderous
do,
Smite.
I was hoping, depending on how the fight went, like I was going to bop it back, hopefully, just so it was like closer to Rai, and then like Rai was just going to fucking like grapple her or something with the I don't know what the fuck the Octopus does. I just assume it like
They have
wraps around.
50-foot restraining attack.
50? 50?
15.
Oh, I thought you said
Yeah.
50. I'm like, what the fuck?
No, 15. Yeah, that's how
Yeah,
I
so that would have put
down.
you like in range, I think. Literally, like, and you just go, ooh, cool, sloop,
Yeah.
and then just held it,
CR1. Oh my god.
and then just held it while I just like beat it down. That was what my plan was, but it then you're like, oh yeah, your weapon didn't do any damage. I go, uh-oh. It also didn't knock back. Uh-oh.
Yeah, but that also means I wouldn't have done any damage to it, like, at all.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I got up there for that sole
Yeah.
plan and went, oh no.
Yeah. So I was trying to send my familiar up there because with like I just need to be able to see him, and then I could have just used like my fucking like vicious mockery or my mind sliver, because it just says I need to see the creature.
That
So I was gonna look through
that was
my
fun, though.
familiar's eyes.
Horrifying, but you know, fun.
Yeah.
Well, I hope you all enjoyed it. Any questions, comments, or concerns? You know, I'm always looking for like advice or I like this about the session. I didn't like this about the session, so
No.
I can improve as a DM.
I think you knowing the wording on that ability made me see you in a new light today, Chris.
No, because I remember you did say you have played one of these, and I completely forgot. I was just like, oh, just reflex damage. I'm fine. And you were like, you called me. I was like, oh shit, yeah, nice, thank you.
Yeah, it was the campaign with Byron, so that's why it was only 1 session.
Hey, I mean that's still like,
Yeah.
you know it. This is the first time I played this type of paladin.
No, I thought you just had like read everybody's abilities and like were prepared for bullshit. Okay.
I wasn't prepared for Rocktopus. That was
Rocktopus.
Okay, I want to know what your fucking transportations are, because you're already pulling out some strong shit, and I'm interested. Oh, bite.
He came back right as it ended.
Oh, bite, buddy.
Well, good news. We do have a recording that you can watch, so that's cool.
By the time he cut out, yeah. By the time Alex got in.
Yeah. So what'd you say?
Oh, I want to know what your fucking transformations are, considering like you're pulling out strong, like more bounders. You're pulling out
So-
octopus.
Chris basically said I could have whatever because of the internet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like I want to know what kind of schemy shit you got going on, but I don't want to look up anything because I don't want
Hell
to
yeah.
spoiling anything. Like I want to see what the fuck you got. And me and you have pretty similar resources in terms of the expanded monster manual. So if you pull any homebrew stuff, like I know there's like cave bears and shit like that because I was looking through it today to
haven't
plan for my
even-
one shot.
I haven't even brought up any homebrew stuff to Chris.
Yeah, there's some cool little things in there.
Yeah, no, I just looking at normal beasts, man.
Yeah, cave bear, dire rat,
Yeah.
giant army ants, giant cicada, giant bullfrog.
Ice Spider Queen.
I'm talking. This is all homebrew stuff I'm listing. Winter wolf alpha,
I'll catch you guys later.
sea
See you,
serpent.
man. I'm cool with for right now. I'm cool with the Moorbounder. The Moorbounder is like one of my favorite.
Fucking cool.
Yeah, they're
Dude, I love those. I had you guys fight some of those in my campaign. You were playing a druid in that one too, which is funny because you were like, because you saw the Moorbounder like declawed, its tusks were like.
Yeah, but I wasn't a
then-
moon druid.
You weren't, but you're still a druid, and you're like, I don't like it.
I mean, I couldn't shift to it. CR1.
Well, I'm just talking like nature wise. You were just like, I feel bad for the animal because literally, like, it was a carnival animal essentially that was like put into a point where it couldn't really hurt people as much.
Mm-hmm.
It had like a muzzle and
Yeah, Moorbounders are great, man.
oh yeah,
I
they're
did
cool.
not know that they could jump 40 feet.
Oh yeah, they're crazy. They're more bounders. They're
Very true. Very true.